Okay, what's up, guys? This is Ben. Today I'm just going to be showing you just the basics of running Ableton Live for clicks and loops and whatnot here at Park Christian Church. Currently, I'm the one that builds the Ableton set, um, but we use a variety of loops and clicks and stuff like that. We have purchased some loops that from different websites like worship tutorials and whatnot, and I've also built quite a few loops, or some might call multi-tracks, of my own that we use here at the church. But today I'm just going to be showing you how to use it on a Sunday morning basis. So first things first, I'm going to go down here to Ableton Live 9 intro, click on that, and it'll take a second, load it all up. And whenever it pops up here, the first thing you'll see is just the default screen, like a blank project. And what we're going to be doing is going up to File. You can go to Open Live Set, but in this case, we'll just go to Open Recent Set because it's the last one we've been working on. Today is September 12th, but I already set up the one for this weekend, so I'm going to click on that, 917, and it's going to open up our set here. So this is kind of a departure from the way we used to run loops and clicks, which we used to run multi-tracks just straight out of iTunes. There wasn't a whole lot of flexibility. We couldn't really change the volume or levels of the individual instruments quickly and on the fly. Basically, we'd have to open up the project in GarageBand or whatever DAW we were working in, and adjust it there, resave it as like an MP3, and throw it in iTunes and play it like that. So it's very time consuming. It's not good if, like, on Sunday morning we realize, like, oh, that tambourine or that like background vocal part is too loud, it needs to be turned up or down. It didn't really work well for that situation. So Ableton Live works tremendously. It's the industry standard. The pros use it, so if it's good enough for them, it's definitely good enough for us. So I've already got it all set up, so I just want to show you how to run it, and if we need to make a change on the fly, how to do that. So first things first, we have a couple different things here. We have rows, which are like, horizontal, left, right, and columns, which are vertical. It's kind of like a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, um, or like Apple Numbers, a program like that, like a workflow spreadsheet kind of thing. Um, so we'll start with our columns here. I try to kind of break each song. Oh, first off, I guess you'll see that each track or instrument that we use in a particular song has its own little cell here now. So basically our columns are, for the most part, our instruments, or whatever MIDI stuff, and then the rows are the actual whole, like the song itself. Um, so this is how we're gonna do it. I have the master here set up as each song. It's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like we would on a normal Sunday. They're named, have the BPMs, time signatures, everything. And then all the way over here, you'll see from left to right, I have the different instruments, whatnot set up. So first things first, this is a MIDI input. I'm using a third-party plugin called CliffX. And I'm using it for its most basic function, which is toggling the internal Ableton metronome on and off. Because some tracks we're doing, as you can see here, don't have any instruments in them. So we're just using the click, and the only instruments that we'll be playing in real time are the physical ones on stage. In this case, we have Come Thou Fount and Give Me Faith, which won't have any loops, but we want to control the click track to turn on and off within Ableton for those songs, and we want them on for those songs, and we want, for the songs that have their own clicks, we want the internal metronome turned off. So basically, to turn up or down, I'm going to go through the rest of this pretty quick. To turn an individual thing up or down, say like, the cues on Chainbreaker are kind of quiet. We can double click on the Chainbreaker cue cell, double click on it, and you'll see down here there's kind of like a little controller that opens up and shows you the waveforms of everything. And right here there is a level, and just when you import it just like this, um, it doesn't add or take away any gain, obviously, so it's set at 0 dB gain. So if we wanted to turn it up, we could click and drag it down. You can also double click on the number and put in a number and hit enter, and that will change it automatically to that. So it's important to know just how to do each one individually. I've kind of disabled like a lot of the channel settings that come standard here on Ableton for this, because there's kind of like a master gain knob that is normally here for the entire column, and that can be kind of misleading. Like if you're in a hurry, you might think, oh, there it is, I'll just turn that up. Well, what that does is it would turn the gain up for all of the cells in that column. So we don't want that, because maybe Oceans is, the cues are right where we need it to be. So that's how we do that. To get rid of that, you can just click on this little drop down and it'll get rid of that. And lastly, this is how we start and stop a track. So you can see how they're numbered here. Well, I've gone in with our key control little editor, this button right here that says key, not that one. And I've assigned each master track a number, and basically you do that by, you could set it to anything on your computer's keyboard. So with this one, like the Ascension, it's the first song. I have it set where if you click the actual number 1 on the keyboard, it will start the song. Now I could change that. I can make it A. See how it just changed to A or F. But in this case, just simple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We play 5 songs. Each song gets its corresponding number as its like trigger to start. So that's how that works. So as you can see, I'm about to click the number 1 key on the keyboard, and
1, 3.
It starts.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're probably hearing this in stereo with the way that we have the audio configured for loops. We put the clicks and cues on the left and the loops on the right.
Intro. All in.
And then to stop, you just hit the space bar and it stops it. So the downside is with Ableton, there's 2 ways to set up workflow. One, this is like the cell view, and then there's also arrangement view, similar to like any major recording software. With the advantage to this is you could start anywhere in the song, but the disadvantage with having it this way, it's easier. It's easier to see everything, but you can't start in the middle of a song, so that makes it kind of inconvenient. But that's really the only downside. So you'll see, with the first song, our internal metronome is turned off because we're using its own dedicated click. In this case, I actually am borrowing these loops from a friend, and he sent me the MP3 where the clicks and cues were tied together on the same MP3, so I had to drop it just in one. But down here with like chain breaker, I'll do that. Hit number 4 to start that.
Chain breaker, intro 2, 3, 4.
You'll see that the clicks and cues are on individual cells. I'm going to stop that. And then lastly, just to play one of these 2 that use the internal metronome as opposed to the external one, it'll go like this for Come Thou Fount. And you'll see that you'll be able to hear that it's the same metronome sound because I've taken the metronome sound that we use for our multi-tracks and replaced Ableton's default click track sound with the one that we use within the application settings. So there's tutorials online how to do that, but yeah, this is just like a quick little rundown of how we do things. Just to show you the big one, here is a little snippet of Oceans.
Oceans short, 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's a lot more to it, but for time's sake, I'm going to end it there. So thanks. If you have any questions, just comment below or get a hold of me. Thanks.